coffee. I need coffee this morning. I've been up for like 2 hours and haven't had any coffee yet. So, as you can tell by the title, that's more than I wanted to pull out of there. Only wanted this. So let's just go back in. So, like I said, Gathering, it's USN, it's called The Gathering, for those of you who didn't know, is this week. I leave for Vegas in 2 days. So, guys, if you've got stuff that you're sent, there's a good chance it's probably not gonna happen this week. So I am caught up. I've only got a small box of stuff for the boys up at Fair and Forge, and I'm gonna get done today. I figure it's only gonna take me a couple hours. If I can't sharpen 6 knives in 2 hours, I should probably quit. So if you guys had stuff here at the house, I'm doing 2 things at once. If you guys had things here at the house, they should be going out today. I sharpened a bunch of stuff when the stones came in. So the stones came in, I got a bunch of stuff done that was sitting, that was waiting on those stones. Softer stones don't like the diamonds so much, and it just winds up, the diamonds load up, and then I have to dress them more often than I would if I was just using them on harder. It just seems funny to say that. They're exactly the opposite. They don't like hard steels, they load up. So that stuff that is still here, there's one item from a customer that I did not get done yesterday that I intended to, which will be done this morning. And then like I said, just some small stuff. I got a local customer here that brought over a bunch of straight razors. I'm gonna try and get those done today, but I already told him I can't make any promises because they take a significant amount more time, not more labor, more time. So is anybody else here going to the Gathering? Going to USN? Thought I was going, but the situation's just, it sucks, bro. Give me a second, filling up a coffee pot. Well, Nico and I are going. Matt was going to go, but now it doesn't look like it. Matt has a new job. Matt's got a new job, and for him to take off, like brand new employee, to take off on a Wednesday. So, hey boss, I know I just only started a couple months ago, but I need to go to Vegas on Wednesday. I don't think that's gonna fly. I think his boss is gonna tell him to fuck right off. So he's not even trying to go. So, I don't know, did my sis show up? My sister usually shows, oh, too much. So you guys can tell, I'm in a good mood. I'm trying to force myself into a good mood because I have to go to Vegas this week. I hate Las Vegas. So I'm getting myself all ramped up that I'm gonna have so much fun. I'm like to see people I haven't seen in so long, and I can just ignore the fact that I'm in Vegas. Plus, I'm gonna be at the knife show with We Knives. I'm gonna stop by their table a few times. I'll hang out at their table maybe a little bit. Because my knife got released. Yeah. I'm a pretty happy guy. I should be happy. My wife bought me a couple shirts, okay? We'll talk about this while she's not here. So my wife bought me a couple nice t-shirts. Not this one. This is one that Charles Anderson, it came in a box full of stuff. He's like, I didn't even order any shirts. They won't fit, or we're gonna have to pay an exorbitant amount of money to get them to Sweden. So my wife bought me some really nice t-shirts. And I wore them while I was sharpening at the bench. And you know, when you're sharpening, I have those shirts that hang up, and I wipe the blade off, and you pinch it in between, you just wipe the blade off. Knife guys, hear me out. How many of you have got shirts that just have 2 holes, 2 holes, 2 holes, and it's because you're wiping your blade off after you clean it or do something, and you squeeze too hard, or you do it this way, and you cut into the shirt where you're pinching it? How many of us have done that? She did laundry. And she was pissed. She's like, do we have, she's like, we got moths. We got moths. They're eating your shirts. And I was like, that's not what it is, babe. I know exactly what caused that. I was wiping blades off on my shirt. I'm sorry. It was during that week. Remember when I only had the yellow towel hanging up in the one video that I did on Instagram? And I was complaining about the fact that I hadn't washed the old t-shirts that I use as... So I wore a couple of those nice shirts out there without thinking and did it, and she's not happy with me. I could have just... Dumb me could have just let her keep thinking it was moths. So let's see, who else here? Oh, wait, crap, what's that? First of all, let me... I was afraid of that. I didn't have it set for live chat. Fuck. I bet they're picking up the neighbor's dumpster. I had a neighbor that they moved. The whole family moved to Washington State, and so they were getting the house ready for renters, for new renters. Mm-hmm. So, guys, I know that there's people here. I just want to know who's here. Just curious. What's everybody up to? Anybody get anything cool or new or that they got and they regret their purchase decision? Because we know I haven't spent any money on knives. I will tell you though, let's go do this. Ooh. Well, hello, Ron. Let's go get my knife case, and I'll show you 2 new additions. I didn't buy them. I have 2 new additions to my knife collection. I don't know how long they're going to stay. These were given... Guys, as much as I hate to say something, I mean, okay, let me preface this by saying... The Flytanium scales that I've seen come out for Spydercos have got to be the best ones that I've seen. Some of the best. Some of the best. The problem with them is the last couple sets, my wife just left the ice skating rink with our daughter. The problem with them is, I hope she's got enough time to get to the school. Pimped out. Sending it to them or to me? So anyway, the Flytanium scales have got to be some of the best ones I've seen, the aftermarket scales, some of the best ones I've seen. The problem still was that every one of them that I've seen, even the Flytanium ones, that they were they weren't recessed properly. The screws, they were inconsistent. Some screws stood up higher than others. That last one I did, if you guys remember the one I did with the sunset motif, the green flash sunset, it's, yeah, I got you. It's a ball bearing lock. I got you. I'm just saying the Flytanium stuff, period. I'm just saying anything that's aftermarket, you may wind up running into some problems with. Now, Chris and Darren are doing a very methodical way. I'm not trying to tell you to use them instead, but they're doing a different, methodical method to it. They're doing all kinds of fit testing, proof of concept on everything they do, and they are doing it to be exactly like Spyderco scales, which has been the problem with some of the other stuff. Titanium's hard to work with though too. Like those Flytanium scales were warped from the milling. I mean, that's just the way it is, and you could visually feel and see the warpage. When I did the satin, it kind of smoothed it out. It smoothed out the inconsistencies in the milling and everything, but it still was, you know, not exactly the same fit as a Spyderco. And I noticed it when you put it together and take it apart, it just felt a little bit different. So, Mark, I did a video about Cerberus knives. If you want to go and find it, I did a video up at their place. They are going to start making, at the first, they're going to start making scales, aftermarket scales for knives. I'm going to send them a set of the scales off of one of these so that they can start and be ready, because I'm sure there's a bunch of people that are reach out to them, because these come in black tan, and green. So as soon as Jim Skelton sent me back the one I sent him, I think that one's going to go to Blade Banner as soon as the green one comes back from Levon at Knife Nuts Podcast. As soon as it comes back from him, I'm setting that set of green scales off. Or when I get back from Vegas, I'll take the black scales off of this one and send them to him and say, hey, just get all your dimensions, your measurements, and well, they need the knife for fit testing. Probably just have to send him a whole knife. So I have been carrying this 24/7, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. I am gonna do a video about why pick a fixed blade, because I haven't carried a fixed blade for any significant period of time for a long. I haven't carried a fixed blade for any period of time for a long time. It's been a long time since I carried one consistently, and I've been carrying this for almost 2 weeks now, pretty much all the time. Different places, different configurations. I still would prefer soft loops on this, but I do like the fact that the Tech Lock, I can just take the sheath right off. Like if I'm in the car and I want to go into the bank and I'm carrying this, I can just leave it in the car and then come back and I can pop open the lock, snap it back on, and then lock it shut so it doesn't come off. So I'm up in the air. I mean, I like the soft loops, but the fact with soft loops is you got to unsnap them. It's just a little bit more difficult. So, but the soft loops do sit flusher to the body and allow you to kind of change your configuration. It's not so rigid and it doesn't poke. You know what I mean? So, what else was I going to tell you guys about? It's been about a week, almost a week since we did a live feed. It's going to be hot today. Yesterday, guys, I'm not going to lie, I felt bad for my poor kid. Had to sleep on the couch because you guys know I don't have air conditioning. And this house is old enough in the way it's configured, it would cost so much to put in central air, right? And everybody's like, "Oh, you could put in one of those, what do they call it? The wall units that go in, and then there's the outside thing." And I was like, yeah, but the fact is, like on a day like yesterday when it was 87 degrees in the house, in the cool room of the house, which is the central living room area, that stays the coolest. It was like 87 degrees in there. Yeah, the ductless. But the ductless, I can't run that to my daughter's room upstairs. So I would have to put one. So it doesn't get me anywhere to put in a ductless system. It gets me one room. And my daughter slept on the couch. I felt so bad for her. She just got back from Japan. Today's the first day of school, and it was like 90 degrees in her bedroom. I tried to cool it down. We had air moving. It got down like 68 degrees real quick after the sun went down, but it stayed hot in the house, even with fans on. So once we got the downstairs down to, I think it's like 70 degrees. It was like 70 degrees when I went to bed last night in the living room because I had fans blowing. I was like, I felt bad because she slept on the couch because it was just too hot to sleep in her room. But we only get a few days a year like that. So I felt bad. I was saying, oh man, I feel so bad. And my wife's like, she likes sleeping on the couch. I was like, I'm not gonna lie, it is a real comfortable couch. Hang on a second, guys. Had to get a cup for some coffee. John, We Company 916 limited edition. Any 914B. What was this? Are you selling a knife? B limited edition. What do you? Oh, that's what you got. Ah, okay. When I was asking everybody, what did you guys get? Anybody get anything new? Oh, that's right. My new arrivals. So, fuck, I left it on the bedstand. We'll get one out. You guys come with me. So I have a customer, and I don't know whether he wants me to mention him in a video or not. Customer, I did a couple knives for him. I did a Fortis. I think I hung up on her. Hang on a second, guys. I'll call her from my watch. But anyway, I have a customer, and like I said, I don't know if he wants me to mention him or not, but he sent me a couple knives. He asked, hey, can I do? I get stuff every once in a while that's impressive, but every once in a while, hang on, we'll look at that. Let me call my wife back. Just one moment. Hey, there we go. I'm back. I don't know what happened there, guys. But, so, you guys still here with me? Sorry about that. So, anyway, this customer, I did some work for him, and a couple of knives. My daughter forgot her backpack, if you guys heard that whole interaction. So he's like, hey, I want to donate a couple knives to the channel. You can sell them, you can keep them, you can do whatever you want with them. And I was like, yeah, sure. You know, people have donated stuff before, and I'm never, it happens sometimes, but I don't ever expect somebody to be giving me something of any value, because it's a kindness thing. There isn't a value that really matters. I appreciate the thought. So when I say that, it's like, I never expect it to be something expensive. So these two boxes show up, or this box shows up with two knives in it. One of them is a fucking Jake Hoback Quayback Mark IV, still in the box and everything. Doesn't look like it's ever been carried, with the stonewash in purple. You see the lock bars purple and everything. And I was like, holy crap. Those are, I mean, it's not my, I'm not a great big fan of them, but I was like, holy crap, that's a really nice knife. And I know that they're worth a lot of money. Also in the box is a Riyadh K2, which I've sharpened one. I added a choil and sharpened one of these for Nico, and I was like, that's a really nice knife. I am very, very impressed with what the guy sent me. Way more valuable than I would have expected. I told him, I was like, he told me they were nice knives, and I was like, that's fine. I don't care if they're nice or not. If they're just like a gift for the channel, it's cool. And holy crap, guys. I think Matt has his heart set on that Quayback. So one of the guys was like, hey, I got somebody that would want that K2. Nico was like, I got somebody that would want that K2. And I was like, if I'm getting rid of one of them, either one of them, it would be the Quayback. Stonefest Tech-Lock was a good choice. Loosely something. On this big of a sheath, I've tested them. On this large of a sheath, they don't flop around. If you've got a good, like I've got a 2-inch wide belt. I always wear a 2-inch wide belt. I don't like anything thinner than that. I'm an old guy. I'm starting to get fat. I wear a 1-inch belt, and it feels like somebody's trying to cut me in half. So they sit really well, but the nice thing about this is, I do have to agree with you, Mark, is this has an adjustable piece. And I took one out because I didn't need it, and I set it here so I could show you guys. At any rate, this part comes out. So you can adjust this piece to the thickness of your belt. Like if you're wearing a duty belt, you want to take that clear out. But if you're wearing a thinner belt, you can shorten that, and you just take that out, and you just move it further down so it doesn't slop around on your, belt. So I do like that. The only thing I wish is they didn't, I know why they did it. I got so used to Matt's sheaths, he doesn't have any excess material here at the tip. Like, it basically ends. And so the sheaths are about 1/4 to 1/2 inch shorter. So, but yeah, so like I said, I didn't know if he wanted me to mention him at all. Some people are kind of private like that. I've had a couple people that sent me boxes of stuff, and they're like, hey, just, I don't want anybody to know who it is. I don't want anybody to use my name. I've got some subscribers that are private. What's up, Justin? I'm not gonna lie, this is a nice knife. It just has a weird, there's a weirdness to it. It kicks back too far. Oh, guys, I sharpened a Pena swayback. Is this it right here? Is this the Pena? Yes. Guys, it's right here, kiddo. Hey, back. Get the fuck back. Bye. Love you. Jesus, dog. Kid left her backpack. She's got to be at school in like 15 minutes. So anyway, Pena swayback. I'm kind of a fan. I want to talk to Enrique. This is ridiculously sharp. Yeah, I want to talk to Enrique if I see him in Vegas. That's a nice knife. So, but guys, Matt loaned me his, okay, let's do this again. Stay here, wait here, because you guys have signal. Last time I took you in a bedroom, that's when I lost you for a little bit. Hang on. Matt let me borrow the sea snake that I made for him. So I am going to be shilling that at the show. Trying to get this knife into production. I already have the CAD files and everything for it. Whoever would want to pick it up, I could just email them directly, email the CAD files. This is a different kind of knife. It actually is, it's one of those small fixed blades where you have more blade or less blade than you do handle. But that's because I wanted to be able to choke up on it, and I like the aesthetic of it. I like the lines, you know what I mean? But this is what I was talking about match sheaths. There's no extra material. Like there's just enough room, barely, for that knife to sit in there, in that Kydex sheath. There's no way you guys will ever find one of those production ones in the steel I made that out of, because that's S125V. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. I don't know why people make knives out of it. I don't know why I made, well, Elliot told me to. So I gotta make 3 more of those. 4 more of those. And 2 more Hornets, and then I'm pretty much done with all the steel I have. I don't think there's gonna be much more knife making. Like hands-on knife making, except just for fun. It's not like I'm gonna be opening books and saying, hey, this is how many I've got, this is how many, because that got real tiring. I feel like those will be your last words. What would be my last words? What did I say? Elliot told me to. Elliot told me I could do it. Like, I told him I didn't want to try and make a knife out of S125V. I knew it was unforgiving. I knew it was really hard to work with because it's so hard. And he goes, you can do it. I got faith in you. And so I decided to make, I made 1. So Jeremy Morris, if Jeremy's here, I made a Scorpion, which is this one's cousin. That's the one that has the swept up blade. Like a drop point. So there's that. I made 1 of those for him. He really likes it. And the rest of them are going to be these because I wasn't going to make these, and I just flipped 1 around for a customer who was asking how it would look, and he goes, yeah, it's, you know what, it's still too small. And Matt saw the drawing and he was like, no, I want that. And I was like, are you sure? So that's how this came into existence. Because if you look at the handles on this and the handles on that prototype I made for my daughter, it's the same knife with a change in the blade shape. So that makes it, Elliot was like, that's gonna make it easy for whoever's producing those. They can produce both and then just have 1 change to make. He's like, it made it easy for him Elliot did the CAD render for me. He took the knife and then took all the dimensions, everything. Look, this is a sea snake. This one is a sea snake. The other one's a scorpion. So, guys, I'm not gonna lie to you. They said 59 or 60 on this. This has held an edge comparable to my Reat Horizon D, which holds an edge incredibly well. I got so used to Elliot's. The edge on this feels different than the edge on Elliot's steel. So it's 20 CV, but just that slight change, there's a different feel to the edge. Like when you touch it, you're like, huh. It's a different fineness to the edge. Like this edge is not quite as fine as the in-house heat treat, but there's just no way for a company to grind something in 20 CV that's at 63. So they've got these listed 59 to 61. I'd say it feels like sharpening it. It definitely feels comparable to sharpening the M390 that's in a lot of the Reats and things like that. So I know how the heat treat on my 20 CV feels and holds. So, or I'm sorry, on my M390 knives by Reat and stuff like that. So I'm pretty confident that that this is gonna hold up and be exactly what I want. It's not difficult to sharpen with the right stuff. No knife is difficult to sharpen with the right stuff. I've even sharpened it. I've had people ask me about Maximet. I have since the whole incident where the Maximet or Maximes video and stuff like that. I've sharpened some Maximet, but I'm still not going to offer that as a service. I'm just not going to do it. The main reason being is not that I can't do it. I lose money doing it. To set the price on how long it takes forever to sharpen Maximet. Forever. It's the most difficult steel I've ever sharpened in regards to like how long it takes to get that edge set. And I can't, you guys would look at me and you're crazy. Because minimum price would be $50 to sharpen a knife at Maximet. That would be my minimum, because it would take so long. And there's the fact that it still does like to chip. Even though I'm using diamond stems, it still likes to chip. So it's just not something I'm gonna do. Big Brown Bear had been doing it for a while, but he's busy. I told him, I was like, you still cool with me sending people? He's like, actually, you know what? He's like, I really can't. He's like, I sharpen my own. He makes knives now. That's his primary business. He makes knives. He's not a professional knife sharpener. He's a professional knife maker. And so I'm like, then that, like Maximet, hopefully you got Maximet from a company that will sharpen it for you as part of the warranty. Because I can't do it. I can't in good conscience do it for less than $50 a knife. Because I just know how long it takes. So it's not a matter of ability. It's a matter of willingness. Plus, I just hate sharpening it. I hate sharpening it. It's just unpleasant to fuck around with. Where did this one come from? Okay, so, like I said, anyway, gathering. Apostle P does Maximet, and he does, and we'll talk about Apostle P. While I agree with him on some things, Apostle P is not the easiest person to deal with, and he has done some things that were questionable when you look at the actual knife when it comes out. We'll talk about that some other time. I'm not going to get... Here's the thing. I like Rob, but he and I don't agree on a lot of stuff. So anyway, gathering, this is going to be the last thing we talk about because I need to get started on that stuff so I can get it in the mail and out. So gathering is this week, and well, it's Friday, Saturday. Nico and I are leaving his house Thursday morning and checking in at the Planet Hollywood, formerly the Aladdin. That's where my wife and I had our actual honeymoon. Like, we had a little honeymoon when I was active duty, but I also got called in on that honeymoon to come and sign some paperwork, because at the time I was the acting AD&C supervisor, ammunition distribution and control soup. So manager, actually. I was filling an officer's position. And so, I think my wife just pulled back. So, yeah, like I said, we had our actual honeymoon. We stayed at with the Aladdin back then, and we were already talking about the fact it was changing to Planet Hollywood. So we are staying at the Planet Hollywood, which is the same hotel that the wife and I stayed in when we were in Vegas. And so we will be there Thursday evening, and then Friday night is Friday's my birthday. We'll be there all day at the show on Friday. And then Saturday we're checking out, and we may stay for part of the show, and then head back at a reasonable, fucking sensible hour. I think it would make more sense to leave in the evening. I think there'll be less traffic leaving Vegas on a Saturday evening than there will be on a Saturday morning. So, I don't know. That could be a backwards plan. That could fuck us. Who knows? But at any rate, we will be there. Yeah, 30th of August is my birthday. So, we will be there. If you guys are there, look for me and Nico. I will be around the entire show, but there's a good chance that the places you will find me is Chris Reeves' table, Aaron Frederick's table, Rat Bastard Knives, my friend Nathan. He has a table, and he will be right across from Wee Knives. Those would be the main places that I would say. I also want to talk to Sebastian at Borka Blades. He's going to be there. He and I have been talking back and forth on Instagram, or not Instagram, Facebook, about meeting there. So, guys, that's the end of it. The wife just pulled back in. You can't find Nico in a crowd. I'm going to get him one of those big foam fingers and have him wave it around. But I'm going to nail it on the stick. I'm going to have him put it on a stick, but I'm going to put it on upside down so that I can just see this big finger going like this. And he just has to wave it like this, and then I'll just see this big orange finger above the crowd. I can put one of those foam fingers on a broomstick. No. You're in a room full of knife guys. How long do you think a balloon's going to fucking last? One dude's going to be like, haha, balloon, pop. And then I've lost Nico. So, morning. How was skating? It was okay. You got to go straight to work? I don't know what time she starts work today. So, first day of school for the kid, first day of work for the wife because she works for the school district. I'm getting ready to go out and work. I'll give you guys 7 more minutes. We'll make it 40 minutes. Who's got what to ask? And who of y'all, that's the plural, yins and y'all. That's yins as if you're little. Little uns, yins. Y'all's the big uns. What are y'all doing? How many of y'all going to fucking, that's an actual factual thing. That's back home talk. I wish my sister was here. She gets a kick out of back home talk. The two Utes. That's an accent thing. That's not just a dialect thing. How many of y'all are going to the gathering? Oh, don't forget, guys. Also, October 1st, I will be going to Blade Show West. So, that's right. I got to get with Elliot about... Yeah, it's still chips. I've sharpened it a few times. I wanted to just stop sharpening it so much because I was afraid of, you know, I'm just taking off. I'm sorry, November 1st, end of October, we will be at the Cali Custom Show, I believe. I think we're going to try and do the Cali Custom Show again this year and go. I need to go to a few of these shows because So yeah, this still chips if you're cutting anything at all. I was gonna say anything hard, but then I remember, yeah, there's a little chip there. Tiny, tiny, tiny little chip right there at the right where it starts to drop up by. Yeah, I'm planning on going to Cali Custom Show. I don't know. It depends. It depends on who all's going to be there, and stuff like that. So, um, I want to talk to some other manufacturers, but Cali Custom Show is not the place to do that. You don't see many manufacturers, and the whole thing is, guys, like, as much as I like some of those old guys, like that guy Young, he's a real good custom maker. Some of the guys that I saw at the Vegas show, the thing is, like, you're not. I can't go to the Cali Custom Show and do much video. It's the same thing at every table. It's just another maker. I don't get me wrong. I don't want you to think that I'm bagging on custom makers, but when you go to a custom knife show, it's the same thing at every fucking table. You see, you know, a stag handle buoy, beautiful. A Damascus stag handle buoy, beautiful. A fucking a burlwood handled buoy, a recurve buoy. It's just every table. It's like every maker is making, and it gets to the point where you get to the end. I think I said this before. You go up one row and then come back down. That's not even half the show, and you're already burnt out. You can't distinguish. Like, you might have seen the best buoy in the world on like the fourth row over, but by that time, you're just so burnt out on looking at stag handle buoys that you don't fuck care anymore. You're like, whatever. And then that's when you start getting into those weird and unique booths where you like see me and Nico where we're looking at the one that's made out of a fucking bumper and shit. And fucking, I was like, who the fuck needs a 1/2-inch thick fucking blade? 1/2-inch blade stock. That's where you wind up with that shit in the video, is because you can't look at another fucking stag handle buoy or a fucking, I can't tell you how many railroad spike knives I saw at the Cali Custom Show. Don't get me wrong. Were they done well? Yes, they were. You just get fucking tired of looking at them. So, it doesn't make for an entertaining video. Sorry. I hate to throw it out there. I know that there's guys that just love custom makers and stuff like that, but they're just not getting it anymore. Actually, I will run this until 8:30, just because I like starting whatever I'm doing right on a specific set time. So no, yes, this still does chip, and I still love this knife. But you know, I'm gonna take it with me to Portland, which is where I got it a year ago, and talk to the guys at the Benchmade table and see what it would take to put an S90V blade in this. I do not like the S30V. I just don't know if the S90 version is exactly the same. I don't know if it'll work. So that's why I'm going to ask them. I'm not gonna lie, as much as I bag on Benchmade, we were at their table. Some of the nicest people I've ever met. We hung out at the table. One of the guys, I gave one of the guys my Gent as a wedding gift. He had fucking just proposed like the day before. Nico and I were like, holy shit, are you serious? He was such a nice guy. We were like, congratulations. Nico had an extra Gent. And so I gave this guy my Gent, which had already been stonewashed and, you know, it already had, you know, already been sharpened and stuff. And so I gave that to him as a wedding, as an engagement present. And Nico gave me the extra Gent that he had. So it's cool. The guy was great. And then they didn't charge me to put a blade in this. I paid shipping. I think I paid shipping. I think that was the only thing I paid. I don't remember. I didn't pay for the blade on this. Or did I? I don't think I did. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure that they did not charge me for this blade. Cody, what's up, Air Force? So, we got 5 more minutes. I I have to get out of my wife's kitchen before she kills me. It's a fact. So, Jesus, it's getting hot already. It's fucking humid. I'm already sweating. I woke up this morning and, like I said, we had fans on and everything, but it was still hot enough that I woke up and the entire top of my shirt, I had just sweat clear through the top of my shirt. I took a shower before I went to bed and I'm like, fuck. Why are you talking with car dealerships? You buying yourself a car as your present to get that you made E6? I think that's a poor choice of spending money. I got a sore spot on my elbow. So I will give you guys a piece of, holy crap. Piece of advice. If you work in an area where you're grinding, cutting metal, even doing sharpening, don't put your elbows down. I have got all kinds of metal in my elbow. It's either metal or it's fucking still fiberglass from the bathtub. I'm not sure which. I have all these little fucking pimply little sores where I've gotten stuff in my skin and it's sore. And just, it's this elbow. And I know that I do this a lot at the shop. And I know that Chris and Elliot grind metal a lot. So what I figure is that, yes, here's the key to the success that I had saving money. Now, I actually think it's metal because the last time I was at the shop, I was at Chris's bench and they use Dremels to do the fit up stuff for grinding out lock bar cutouts, or not lock bar cutouts, the lock stop, where it goes around and it hits the stop pin. I use that for adjusting and I do fine adjustment and stuff like that. And I sat down and I was talking to Elliot like this, and I do it a lot. And I think that I put my elbow in a pile of fucking metal shavings. So let me see. Yeah, wash my weenus better. So let's see. Somebody said something here. Oh, so the key that when I was at E5, I looked at how much I got paid, and then, you know, you get pay raises, incremental pay raises per year, and I never took any more money. The rest of it either got put in I started throwing that money, any pay raise I got, any pay increase, it got thrown into my thrift savings plan, which is the government's version of a 401k. And then I did the same thing when I got out. I had a job. I had a job with Lockheed Martin. I made like 97 a year. And I started taking that money and I would figure out how much I was getting for housing allowance and E5 pay. And I kept that and put the rest of it in a 401k with them. And then I cashed that out and put it and dumped that into my savings account when I quit that job. And I did the same thing with my GS 9 and 11 pay. I maintained that same amount regardless of the pay, and I just added more to TSP. I've got well over $100,000 in my TSP. And it's sitting there increasing in value until I retire. I'm as much as people think that I spend so much money on stuff like this, I'm a frugal person. I find deals, like the Volkswagen's the first brand new car I ever bought because that was the first year they offered a diesel in the States on a Volkswagen Golf. I normally buy used cars because a lot of times, but I mean, a used car, you buy it after like 2 or 3 years, somebody's already had to do all the initial maintenance. Because you know when you get a car and there's always something that goes wrong in that first couple years that's not covered under warranty, those are the cars that I buy. And I buy them from reputable dealers and things like that. Bought a Dodge Durango. We drove that thing until it just didn't want to go anymore. We drove it until it just was so bad on gas mileage we had to trade it in. Yeah, the Volkswagen probably maintained a little bit more because diesels do maintain their value better. Those well, they did. They did. In retrospect, it probably wouldn't have made sense for me to lease that car for a couple years until the price went down on used ones, and then bought one. But they didn't have them for lease. That was not an option. You had to purchase that car. It was basically, I ordered that car and had it delivered. So yes, the whole Dieselgate thing. Everything was great with the resale value on those cars until Dieselgate. But I got mine redone. I don't, like, everybody's like, oh, they did the changes and this and that to get into compliance, and they're like, I'm just gonna fuck it up. I noticed zero change in that car, except it makes a little bit more noise at idle, because it runs differently at idle than it did before, because that was the whole thing. And there was a change in the power band from 4th into 5th. You really noticed it, and then 5th into 6th, you kind of notice it. There's just a change in how far it winds out before it drops into gear. But the thing is, I very rarely let it do that. I use the paddle shifters a lot, and I pick and choose the shift points in the power band. So, and you can always put it in sport mode. Sport mode fucking shifts it differently, which it actually does a really good job. The computer in that thing is really good, and it also starts to pick up on how you drive in sport mode, and it provides you more power at different times based on how you drive. So, all right, that's it, guys. That's it. I'm out of here. Like I said, if I see you guys in Vegas, that's great. Don't forget, these are available at Knife Center, Blade HQ, Smoky Mountain Knife Works, and I think there's still some available on WhiteMountainKnives.com, I believe, is another vendor. But if you guys know of vendors that have these, let me know, because I'm just curious. Like, ones that I have, not your big ones. Like, are there some small vendors that are carrying these? Because I'm just curious where they're all getting carried, and if they're carrying them overseas, let me know, just in the comments. Just let me know where you know that they're being sold besides Blade HQ, Knife Center, Smoky Mountain Knife Works, WhiteMountain.com. I have not been able to get a hold of anyone at DLT. I really wanted to. I wanted to have them offered there. Guys, 13 people, 7 likes. As we're on our way out, if you'd be ever so kind as to drop a like, and if you like these, give them a thumbs up. Don't like them, give them a thumbs down. There's not going to be anything in these corners because it's a live feed, but down below will be a link to my daughter's GoFundMe. Guys, I'm out of here. Love y'all. I'll talk to you later. I got a bunch of work to do.